Let us say what this problem statement is asking us to do. It is asking us to find or write an algorithm to find the sum of natural numbers from 1 to n. Let me explain what this problem means. My first natural number is 1 and the user is going to tell me what is going to be my last natural number. Let us say my last natural number happens to be 5. That means the value of n happens to be 5. So what I am required to do is I am required to add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Now in order to store this sum, I require a variable or a memory location called as sum. So this fellow sum is one memory location. This fellow I is one memory location with the initial value I. And n is another memory location whose value the user is going to tell me. If the user enters n as 3, I am going to only do 1 plus 2 plus 3. If the user enters n as 10, I am going to add all the way from 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus all the way till 10. So the moral of the story here is I am required to find the sum of natural numbers between 1 to n. So the input I require from the user is this last natural number n. Now using the repeat for statement, I can get the value of I, and at each step I is initially 1, I becomes 2, I becomes 3, I becomes 4, I becomes 5 and so on. I can take the value of I and add it to sum. So let's take this first step. Read the last number. What is, let's say my last number I want to enter or find the sum till is 5. So the value of n happens to be 5. Although small n, capital N are the same, I'm just writing in capital so it's visible better. So when I say input n, the value of n entered by the user, which happens to be 5, is stored here. Now if you remember, in the previous session I showed you a repeat for statement. Repeat for statement, what it does, it takes the value of I and increases the value of I one at a time till a value of I reaches n. We'll do the same thing. So here we'll calculate the sum of numbers by increasing the value of I. So what I am doing is I am saying repeat or do some statements again and again, starting with the value of I equal to 1 to n. So what I am saying is sum is equal to sum plus I. Initially I is 1, sum is 0. 0 plus 1, sum becomes 1. Then I from 1 is increased by 1, I becomes 2. Next time we come in here, okay, because the step 3 is, these three steps are part of step 3. This is just a comment to indicate that this particular statement is going to be executed from I equal to 1 to n. I becomes 2. Sum was, old value of sum was 0 plus 1, it was 1. Now I became 2, 1 plus 2, sum became 3. You go back here, I becomes now 3. 3 is still not greater than 5. Sum is equal to 3 plus 3, it becomes 6. I now becomes 4. Sum is equal to 6 plus 4, it becomes 10. I becomes 5. So one last time we are left because I is still reached 5 but it has not crossed 5. So now it is sum plus I. 10 plus 5 is 15. I has become 6. So this particular condition fails and we come out. So this way we are finding the sum of natural numbers between 1 to n. The second last step is, in order to display the sum, the value of the sum is held in this variable or memory location called as sum, whose value happens to be 15. So when I say output sum, 15 is displayed on the screen. Then finally I am coming to end of the algorithm and exiting. Now using the repeat for, I have generated the value of I starting from 1 till whatever value of n the user enters, and each number I have added it to sum. Finally when I add it to sum, that's when I end up getting the value of sum. Now I will just show you the general syntax of the repeat for loop. Now if you look at repeat for, the word repeat is here, the word for is here. If you look at I happens to be a memory location or a variable whose value is changing. So that's why I've written as var. That means I is a variable. So in place of I, the general diagram says var. IV stands for initial value. What is the initial value of I? It is 1 till FV. FV stands till final value. So you keep repeating whatever is before this end of for loop, whatever these instructions are there, keep repeating starting from the initial value of this particular variable till it reaches the final value. In this case, what is the initial value of I? Initial value is 1. In my demo, final value of I should be equal to 5. So starting from 1 to 5, keep repeating or find the sum of all numbers starting from 1 to n. So this is the general format, or also known as the general syntax of a repeat for loop. In the repeat for loop, the same set of statements here are executed as long as this condition remains true. As long as I is between 1 to 5, you're okay. The minute I exceeds 5, it will come out of the loop, come to step 4 and display the sum.